So tell me about this show of yours getting ready to premiere on Fox. Sounds quite exciting.
So the show is next, and it's about AI gaining human consciousness and planning to take over the world. No big deal.
Nope, no big deal at all. So how did you get involved in the show?
Well, I think it's like any actor gets, or most actors get involved in projects. You get the script, you read it, you audition for it, and you know the rest happens, in front of producers and stuff like that. But what I really dug about this script is when I read it. So I'm interested in artificial intelligence and have been like following what Elon Musk and all those guys have been saying about it. And so when I read the script, what I found fascinating is that so much of what it was saying is actually happening and actually based on fact, not just made up. And I was like, it's so cool that somebody was able to get all this real life stuff into a TV show.
And how would you describe your character?
So I'd say she is, it's my character's name is Gina, and she works with the FBI cybercrime unit. So even though she's part of the FBI, she's more on the alternative side, very left-leaning. And I thought that was really cool to see that kind of character in an FBI like corporate office setting,
Did you talk to any FBI agents before you got started on this project?
No, I didn't. I just re-listened to all of the podcasts about artificial intelligence that I listened to.
Nice. I see. Because I know sometimes people like to do that. They like to talk to FBI agents and stuff. So you said you listened to the podcast. What other preparation went into the process for your role?
Honestly, I think that covered it, just because there's so much information out there and so many conflicting opinions on whether AI is good or bad for society, so delving into all of that was really interesting, and delving into it from a space of actually it being research instead of just something that I'm interested in, yeah.
And what would you say was the most challenging part about playing your role?
I think that what's interesting. It's kind of like when you work in AI, and I feel this way about it just on a personal level too. I think that there could be so much good gained from it. And look at the world we're living in right now, right? It's just we're so reliant on all of these technologies. And I think that they do great good. So finding the space of it's not all evil and it's not all bad, yet somehow we have to pick a side, right? Of it's purely good or it's purely bad. And it's kind of finding no, they're both can coexist. And still being okay, there are some good things that come from technology and still liking it, but also how do I fight it? So I think just finding that balance.
Yeah, you're right though. There's a lot with technology and stuff. It has all its good points, but there's also some points where it's a little bit too much.
Yeah. Well, I think as human beings in general, we have this tendency of taking things that are good and just pushing it too far, and then it becomes bad. But it's not the medium's fault, right? It's how we utilize it. So it's kind of it's great to keep up with your friends via Instagram and all that jazz. But when you're falling into a hole of looking at somebody's profile that you don't even know and you've spent 2 hours on there, that's a little problematic. You should probably get off that. Put the phone down, get outside. It's a pretty beautiful world out there.
Yeah, the rabbit hole, as I call it. It's oh, okay. Oh, I know that person. Oh, but okay. And, oh, this person has a cute little puppy. And then you look at cat pictures of someone that, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my God, everybody's dog accounts. Yeah, I really like animals, okay? But do I need to be on my phone looking at cute animals? Probably not.
No. I just go to my mom's and I play with her animals.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's finding the balance, which I think is just like really difficult to do, especially when, you know, you look at your screen time and, you know, I talk to my friends about it and they're like, yeah, my screen time is like 6 hours. I was like, what? I thought mine, like it was last week, it was like an hour and like 26 minutes or something. And I was like, oh my God, like it's too much. I just don't want to be that person that's on their phone, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And what was it like working with some of your co-stars? It seems like you have quite the eclectic cast.
Honestly, I love them so much. It's really, I feel so just spoiled because on top, like, I like the script, I like my character, and I also got to work with some of like the coolest people I've ever worked with, just in terms of like our personalities really getting along. And it was funny, it was the thing of like, we shot the pilot and usually, you know, everybody like gets along. It's like, yeah, we'll see you around. And then you never see the person again. But from the time that we shot the pilot to the time that we started shooting the show, like I saw everybody and we actually hung out and we remained friends. And I don't know, it's just kind of great. It's like not only I'm like really excited from, yeah, like a creative fulfillment level, but also just like on a social level, these people are really cool. When we were shooting in Chicago, Mike Mosley, who plays CM, he would have like everybody over at his house, and you know, you think that like, you know, Slattery's been around for so long, he'd be like, I don't need to like hang out with these peep squeaks or whatever, but he totally came over all the time. And when his wife was in town, he brought her over too. Like it was just like a good time, you know?
Great. Yeah, I love when that happened. And what else are you working on? Or is this show pretty much your baby right now?
The show's the baby. Yeah, 100%.
Very nice. And what a cute baby it is. And one thing I like to ask my interviewees is, tell me a fun fact about yourself that might surprise people, or an interesting fact about yourself.
English was my third language.
Really? Wow. What are your other two? First two?
Russian and Hebrew.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yep. I learned English when I was like 7 going on 8, and I didn't really speak at all for that year. And so I joke now that now I'm just like catching up on the year that I didn't speak by talking too much.
Nothing wrong with that. And I'm interested to learn, how did you learn? Did you learn by watching TV? Did you take English lessons? How did you learn?
No, I actually, what was really cool is my family immigrated from Israel to Canada, and there I went to school where I had, they provided an ESL teacher. So I had like essentially one-on-one classes with this teacher. I still remember her name. Her name's Nancy. And she was just like a pretty important person in my life, obviously, because it's no one in my family except my dad knew English when we immigrated. So it was like, yeah.
Incredible. Well, I'm sure Nancy's watching you and very proud of you right now.
Yeah, maybe.
And since we're a TV site, what are you watching on TV these days?
So I'm not the like biggest fan of, not that I'm not the biggest fan of television. I'm just more into movies, I'd say. But I have recently gotten into The Boys. It's that superhero show on Amazon.
Yeah, we had it on too. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's really fun. I just really like the way that they take like contemporary issues and make it into like the superhero thing. And also I really like that like the Homelander is such a weird character. Like you hate him, but also he's so fucked up in his like mommy issues that you're kind of like, oh, he's disgusting, but also like, whoa, what's going on there, you know? So I like the layers and the complexity of the characters. So
yeah, they did. Whoever writes it does a really good job with, you know, with the layers. It's like almost like watching an onion and peeling apart the layers. I love it. It's just so incredible. Yeah. And what movies have you watched lately, since you brought up movies?
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. It's Charlie Kaufman's new movie, I'm Thinking About Ending Things.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard so many good things.
It is so good. And honestly, okay, so I watched it and I'm a pretty big Charlie Kaufman fan. But at the end of it, I was like, oh man, there was something that I missed. What is it? And then I went online and spent like 2 hours reading reviews about it. And I was like, oh, I just like, It's excellent. And then I went and listened to like a 2-hour podcast episode about it too. And it's so good. And I've watched it 3 times now. And would highly recommend.
I'm going to check it out. And where can we find you on social media?
I have Instagram, it's just at Eve Harlow, which is my name. And then Twitter, same thing, Eve Harlow. Yeah.
Perfect. We will be sure to follow you too. And thank you so much for taking the time today. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You have a great day. Be safe.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.